Hey guys, what's up? New computer came in today. Yes, it's a PC. We will talk about that after I get this thing set up. So, instant for you. And we're back. Instant for you guys, of course. And yeah, over 6 hours or more for me. Between Windows updates and installing a bunch of my games so far, we're having a little bit of fun. And so I tried out Far Cry, my original Far Cry. And yeah, I'm actually loving it. I'm surprised for 1080p. The way the pixels are on this screen, they're so tight. You know, it's an amazing little screen. Well, 17.3 inches, but still great for gameplay. I could not imagine of buying one of these things with a 15-inch panel. Just wouldn't work for me. The 17-inch, definitely great for portability, definitely great for just playing video games in here. Mind you, I am going to hook up to my 32-inch display anyways, just because I want to see what kind of resolutions the HDMI bus is going to give me. However, I want to talk about a few things because they don't give you instructions with this bloody thing, so they don't tell you much about the backlighting. It automatically starts in a cycle mode and goes through all of its different colors. And I'm like, okay, how do I change this? And YouTube videos are completely pointless on YouTube. Nobody shows us this stuff. So if you hold down the function button and you use your left or right arrows, you can actually scroll through breathing mode. And then you got strobing. And of course you got color cycle. Now, color cycle is where it came set up, and I gotta tell you guys, it is just, I would not be able to play games like that. That's one of the problems I've always had with the external gamer keyboards, ones that I've bought, is I think there was only one that could actually go to a static mode. And at least I could choose the color, which would be nice. This, you can't choose the color for static mode. It automatically defaults to red, which is fine. Great for at night. You can turn the lights out, and it doesn't bother your eyes. So, you know, where a brighter color like a green or blue, which would be one of my two main choices, would definitely likely interfere with my eyeballs and mess me up. So red it is, and red is okay with me as far as static mode goes. And I probably intend on leaving it in static mode all the time because this whole color flashing thing, it bothers me. So anyway, but I'm not counting that as any kind of bad points when I do the review for you guys. This is just kind of a unbox first impression after setup, and yeah, we'll give some opinions. Now, the screen's got 250 nits of brightness, so you know, it wouldn't be what you would consider to be a superbly bright screen, but your video games, if you have brightness and contrast and gamma control, can override that to a certain point and give you a little bit extra. But the main operating system and the hardware, how it's working together, you're only going to get that 250 nits as far as that goes. So I did try this in Far Cry. I needed a little bit brighter scenery, and it did work out for me, so I'm good with that. Now, this thing also has Wi-Fi 6, which is fantastic for the wireless. It is super fast for surfing. Couldn't have asked for better, even for downloading. It didn't take me more than, I think, about 8 minutes to download 2.6 gigs of the Dungeon Lords game I have. I believe it was Dungeon Lords, or another one. Anyways, one of my games. And I thought, well, that's pretty good timing. You know, doing all my Windows updates only took me probably about, I don't know, maybe tops 3 hours. There was a ton load, and then they had a whole new build of Windows 11 file come down after all that was done, and then some more updates, and then ASUS had some updates as well. And it's like, oh, really? Seriously? Oh, yeah, and a BIOS update too. Anyway, so so far, I'm really liking the computer. Now, I went back to a PC because I've come to the realization that Apple is not going to be doing anything anytime soon for getting us Windows going back on our Macs, especially with the new SoC processored Macs, being your M1s and M2s. in which case they also tend to even suck in gaming, even for their $5,000 Wonder Joy toy right now called the Mac Studio. And after seeing that even with, what is it, Lara Croft Tomb Raider, 1080p you're pretty much stuck at, medium graphics, the studio can still only pull 115 FPS. There are games that will run really well on the M1, don't get me wrong, but over 95% of them plus you have to pay for, and some of them aren't cheap either, but they run really good, so you can't complain there at all. It's just that a lot of those games I don't even like. You know, not my kind of thing. I like games where I can shoot something and kill it, you know? I mean, that's my kind of thing. Sniper games, games like Far Cry, Fallout, New Vegas, Fallout 3, Unreal Tournament, it's a murder game. You know, it's like you're killing everything that moves. And Cyberpunk's pretty cool. But anyway, so those are the kind of types of platforms and games that I like, and there are some online only games that I would like, but I don't like playing online games. I like to play just between me and the computer. It's just my thing. I don't want to get into the whole online game thing again unless I get back into America's Army, which I might do. I gotta check and see if that game is actually still going after all these years. But regardless of the fact, not the loudest puppy for sound, but we are going to fire up a game for you guys in a minute. On the sides here, you've got your power, you've got Ethernet, you've got an HDMI 2.0 port. Big surprise there. I thought everything in technology was HDMI 2.1 now on PCs. It's just Apple that was behind, which they're not anymore, but still, you know, whatever. It's an HDMI port. Do what you want with it. 2 USBs on the side, and they call this a Thunderbolt Type-C port. Definitely got to put that one to the test. So I'm going to have to find a Thunderbolt device eventually. What else have we got here for ports? Looks like headphone jack. And of course we got the Kingston lock, and we have another USB port on the right hand side. So all good to go there. The trackpad, I love the size of the trackpad. Apple really needs to reduce the size of their trackpads. I mean, so much real estate is lost with those massive trackpads, and your hands get in the way of them, and this is, you know, I mean, the MacBook Air is fine, but you know, when you start getting into the other MacBooks, the trackpads just keep getting, you know, bigger and bigger, and it's like, really? Like, why do you need all that real estate? Just sell them a freaking external trackpad for their computer. So I can appreciate PC computers, a lot of them at least. They have a, you know, not so bad sized trackpad. It's not massively huge. Works really well. I'm not going to say it tracks as well as a Mac would, but, you know, what PC would anyways? None. But I do like the trackpad nonetheless. It works very well. The other thing I like too about this computer with this trackpad is you can actually go into the settings and you can tell it that as soon as you plug in a mouse, right, externally, because you're a gamer, can't use a trackpad, it'll automatically disable the trackpad, right? Well, it turns out that even when you use a Bluetooth mouse, it does the exact same thing. It disables the onboard trackpad. So it's like, plugged in or not. It's like, sweet! Okay. Anyways, now you're going to have to use function keys to control things like, you know, your sound up and down type of thing. I'm going to actually put the sound at full blast so you can hear what this thing actually sounds like at full blast audio. But function key to work with your function keys. This thing that looks like a fan, it actually will blink out the screen, basically puts it in like a sleep mode or something. Of course, I would expect to see a sleep icon, which we do have over here. But if we do function F5 here, and I would have to sign back in, and I don't want to, you know, get you guys with having to shut the camera off just to sign back in. Anyways, we do have brightness control, of course, for the screen, but if you just hit the key, nothing happens. You have to hold down function, and of course, you can change your brightness from there. And right there is 100% full brightness, okay? So that gives you a little bit of a tour on how the keys work, and especially how to control your keyboard with the backlighting, because like I said, no video has told me that, and there's no instructions to tell you that. They give you a little tiny pamphlet for a manual, which is kind of pointless. It gives basic layouts and stuff of all the goodies, but they don't really get into it. Now there is a secondary NVMe slot for sure in this thing, and I think as well an SSD full-size slot too, which when I get up the motivation, when I'm not so tired, because it's 8 o'clock in the morning and I didn't get to bed till after 12. I got up at 3, didn't get back to bed until almost 5. It's been a long night. Then I will pop this puppy apart, because I do have a 1 terabyte drive that I might throw in it, unless I go out and just buy one for it today. You know, because I do want to use my 1 terabyte actually on the new Mac OS to go external with for my Mac, to give me a lot more storage space. But there is definitely a secondary NVMe in this, and possibly as well a full-sized SSD port. I've seen a few videos where these things are opened, and I have seen it where you can get up to 3 SSDs in this thing at once. So hopefully this is the same thing as what I saw, because they're all referring to this F17 gaming laptop. So we'll have to find out for sure what's going on with that. Anyways, they give you all these stickers here in a big panel here that gives you like HDMI. They got two-way noise canceling system. The Aura, or Aura, A-U-R-A, that's your, of course, for your keyboard backlighting. This is Nvidia powered with a 3050 video card. I haven't checked to see yet if it's the TI or the regular 3050, but it is an 11th generation i7 core processor, 8 cores at 2.3 gigahertz nominal speed, with capability to go to over 4.6 gigahertz, I believe the top end is. But if you see this little icon here called Armory Crate, if you click on it, this is where you can really have some fun. Right now I have it on balanced mode of my programming choice for balanced, which is basically everything's running pretty quick, no hibernation, no sleep modes, that sort of thing. Tells you your frequency that you're currently running at, even just sitting here at idle, how much RAM we've used, which is almost 6 gigs out of 16. This thing does go to 32 gigs. That is definitely going to get upgraded. Storage capacity, we've used 39.6% of the 500 gig SSD, which formats out to about 453 gig apparently. There's 2 fans in this actually. There's one fan for your CPU and one for your GPU. And even though when the fan does come on to cool things off quick, it's not overly loud, but you can hear it. You know, it's just not like drive you nuts kind of thing, right? Tells you your GPU status, your memory frequency for power saving. But when you click on one of these things, this little box spreads itself around to the directions that it needs for each one of those. So if we go to turbo mode, we get better cooling, better CPU performance, and of course GPU. Okay, then we have silent mode, which really sucks back the power from stuff. Windows mode. Basically, I guess Windows gets to control this thing, which, no, we're not going to allow that. So I'm going to leave her on balance, because that's where I'm going to have it for now anyways. Now, if we go down into here, we got a thing called System. I don't see that it's doing anything particular here. So if we go and we check out the sync, select the sync compatible devices to sync. Okay, in which case we got this. Now I don't know what that's about, have to look into that more. Game visuals, this is where you can set things, default, racing, your different sceneries for color temperatures and stuff, kind of like you would on a TV too. FPS enhances visibility in dark scenes and makes it easier to spot your enemies. Then we have your game library, find and list games. So if we click on that, and it's going to go find our games. Now, I don't know if this is going to track FPS. I'll get back to you guys on that one. But I have played so far my Far Cry game. So categories, Dungeon Lords, Fallout 3. Let's see, Far Cry? If you have installed the game but does not appear, please go to the settings to add the game manually. If you have not installed the game, click at checkout from game deals. Okay, so I guess we'll have to do that manually for that game. After clicking see options, you can select apps which to link to your profile will be applied when a linked app is running in the foreground. Okay, so yeah, maybe that will track our FPS. I don't know. We'll have to find out anyways. So, but regardless, game deals, of course. I'm going to say I don't agree at this point. And that goes and brings us into here. So, anyways, so that's the armory crate. A little bit about it anyways. Then you got this part you can click on, tells you about your computer, that sort of thing. Anyhow, yeah. Let's fire up a game. You gotta know it was gonna be Far Cry, right? Now it's cool how fast this thing actually loads the game. Just poof. That is honestly faster than my old Ryzen 7 system for loading this game. That was actually quite impressive.
I spotted the carrier. Now tell me, how do I get in? I've only been there once, but I remember there was a...
Now I am running this on full tilt graphics. Everything is maxed to the hilt. And resolution is set to 1080p for the game, obviously. If you got it, use it. Now, I find as far as, you know, even though we only are working with 250 nits of brightness, I find this quite nice to play. You know, and I've got all my lights on in my room here, and I got some pretty bright lighting in here, and this still looks really nice. You know, so I don't know what, you know, there was a couple people that had complained about the low nits of brightness. Because even max, they're almost always like 500 nits, right? At the minimum side.
Fire in the hole!
And, but they do say if you want a better gaming experience, and of course the higher resolution, plug into an external display type of thing, right? It's like, okay, well, whatever. Now, I've played this game so much that I know that's going to happen next pretty well.
Team Alpha, please report to the refueling station immediately.
I am just that good today. I don't want to go up in here. So, but anyways, it runs smooth, and I'm like really super impressed with this thing. I need his gun.
More of that!
Ah, you bugger. I got 4 bullets. Can I get him? Yep. Thanks for the extra 50 rounds. Anyways, you get the idea. I mean, you know, as far as where I have things set, video options, I've got my brightness cranked up a bit, and you can see we can get a little bit more out of this thing, you know, above what the computer allows us. I like it usually about right there. Alright, so return to the game. and it's good, so quit. You don't want it too bright, otherwise it goes all pastel-y on you for coloration. But right now I can say that I'm impressed. I still have to play Cyberpunk yet. Volume level for just, you know, full blast volume and sitting in here playing the game, it's fine. It's plenty loud, and the sound quality is not bad, you know. It is a laptop, and, you know, they're what they are, right? Putting on some external speakers definitely would be awesome, and I have that capability to do that. So when I am playing games in here, when I want to be a little obnoxious person, then I will plug in my studio monitors, because they really crank out, and yeah, we'll have some fun in here for sure. But this is going to be great too for getting back into gaming with my buddy with Dungeon Lords and a few other games that we like to play together. And this gives me a system where it's a laptop, it's not a desktop that I have to haul around with me to his place when I go there. Sometimes he comes here, which is bonus too. I just couldn't handle the fact that Apple's not doing much with the new computer systems anymore. You know, it's kind of like, well, look, man, we want to play games. We don't want to have to own a freaking PC. And I thought about buying an Intel Mac and running Windows on it, but then, of course, we're stuck with Windows 10. And Windows 10 is only going to have so much more for security updates, and we all know what Microsoft's doing there, screwing us all over, as per normal anyways for them. And this comes pre-packed with Windows 11, which is fantastic. So this is going to last me for a lot of years. As far as the whole thing of it goes, though, I got this from MDG Computers in Canada. They also have a US location as well. This was actually on sale for like $17.99, regular $18.99, so I saved $100 there. It's still a little more on the retail side from them than it would be to buy it like from Amazon or probably even another store. It's a couple $100 difference from what I found. But you know, the way I look at it, I can do monthly payments, which is very easy to do with them. I've got another, I think, not quite a year left on my TV to pay for. And it's a great company to get really good products that also you can have now, you know, at low monthly payments. So it's not a big deal. You're gonna pay extra, yes, but at least you have it, and you have it now if you can't afford to chunk out $1,500 or more. And I didn't want to go to another desktop because their desktop prices are now right ludicrous. Mind you, there are some pretty freaking nice systems, but it's like, I don't need that kind of horsepower. This will more than do me. So, and I want the portability part. So I don't have the space in here for a desktop system anymore, let alone out in the other room. But yeah, so I think so far I'm really impressed with it. I did get an extended 3-year warranty, which actually covers a full replacement of the computer should it be something that's beyond repair that happens. They'll just replace the computer for free. So it's like, great. So now I'll either use the warranty or I won't. You never know. You know, it's just a thing. And laptops, you want that extra security of the extra warranty. It's definitely worth it. They also supplied me an HDMI cable with this thing too for an extra $40 on top of the external warranty. And it's a 10-foot cable, and I'm like, what the hell am I going to use a 10-foot cable for? Like, seriously. I need like 3 feet. But you know what? It's a high-end cable, according to the sticker anyways. I'm going to put that to the test for sure. And I do have a projector, so I can hook this thing into my projector and have some fun. But I think in the overall, though, 144 hertz refresh is actually pretty good. I like the fact that I can manually safely overclock stuff with the Armory program. That is such a reminder of my MSI system, where I just, you know, fired up that MSI app and I could go click, 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 and, you know, kind of thing. And it was fantastic. This I can do so much more with too on top of that. But I've not tested the battery. We will be doing that, of course. Like I said, it's not a review here. So, so far with my first impressions, I'm pretty happy so far, I must say. But I definitely do need to add some more drive space into this thing because, you know, I am kind of running a little bit low after putting all those games in. So just between Windows and the games, I've used up 273 gigs out of 500. Well, formatted out to 453, right? So, you know, do some math. yeah, I still got quite a bit of space left, technically. And I don't have too much more in the way of games to put in. I did get Minecraft in, and I'm very happy to say that I love Minecraft with Fabulous mode. Way better, of course, when you can get to that Fabulous graphic mode. Something that the M1s certainly cannot handle doing, at least not in the Mini, the Air, or the regular Pro. Might be able to do it in the 14 or 16 inch, I don't know. I've never been able to test that. But it's definitely nice having that Fabulous mode back, so when I start adding in expansion packs and all that other stuff into Minecraft, then I'm going to have a lot better playing experience. And I will show you guys too some different videos of Minecraft on this, Minecraft on my M1 Mini. We're going to do some Cinebench scores, that sort of stuff on the machines, and compare the two. Regardless of all that, that's what I've got for you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. For a machine that's not even been on the market for 2 years yet, it's a pretty solid machine from the looks of things. And it does have an aluminum lid too, which is quite impressive. The other thing that impressed me was the stickers. Now, I don't put stickers on my computers, okay? But nice that they gave us the stickers regardless. I'm sure I'll find some sort of use for them. Maybe I'll sell them to the highest bidder. You know, it's not like you can buy that sticker sheet, or, you know, I don't know, maybe you can, I have no idea. But they're certainly never going to see my computer anyway. But that's it, that's all. So, again, comments below, let me know what you think. It's going to be a little bit before I can do a review, maybe a couple of weeks, because I want to really put this thing through its paces for sure, so I can really give you the best of the best for this for a review. But so far, I definitely like this thing. So anyways, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.